Good morning. This is Robert Goodman here on Positive Stroke, staying clean, and I'm so happy that you are here. And I'm so happy that I'm here, and life is in session. Today I was early this morning. I was listening to this woman's story in recovery, and and tears started to come down my eyes because I remember I remember that walk of addiction. I remember that shame that came with it. I remember. I remember those abandoned houses where I got high at. I remember. I remember the pain of being homeless. I remember. I remember going to sleep high, waking up, getting high. Going to sleep, getting high, waking up, getting high. I remember the pain that addiction, the loss that addiction has given me. I remember. And as I was listening to the story, something hit me. No matter what happened, I didn't stop until I chose to stop. Let me say that again. I didn't stop using until I chose to stop. When I listened to her story, she had enablers. She constantly was getting. The dealers knew her. There was no problem on her getting dope. And all that she went through and all the things that she did, she didn't stop until she chose to stop. Until she said, I've had enough. When I chose, I had enough. I'm not doing this no more. That's when my life got better. That's when her life got better. That's when your life got better. And since you're on that road of recovery and you feel good about yourself and the progress that you made, life is still in session. Life is still in session. So we made this decision. I made this decision. And recovery taught me one thing, that Robert, you're finally willing to do what you need to do to have a good life for yourself. Now you're in a position that you can make your life better, but it's going to take work. Just because you got clean and sober, Robert, doesn't mean that the world is supposed to jump up, give you a ticket parade, give you a brand new house, a brand new car. No, it gives you a shot at a new life, but you're going to have to work to get it. And I realized that. It wasn't easy. The thing that recovery has taught me is that We don't know just how bad our addiction beat us up mentally and emotionally until we get into recovery, until we start working on ourselves, until we start being focused on ourselves. And the interesting thing is that this is not just limited to people in addiction. Everybody needs to understand this. The things that happened in our past, the negative, the bad things that you may suppress or felt that you found a workaround, but it still hurts. It still gives you that negative feeling. It still makes you act a certain way because you haven't processed what you need to process so you can move forward. Because I know if I don't process what happened in the past, then it lives rent free in my head. And if it lives rent free in my head, then it makes me make bad decisions because I'm acting on past feelings and emotions. And the interesting thing is that the pain from the past and the pain that you have now is way greater, but it's far beyond the truth because we done multiplied, added more stuff to it, the more pain of other things that happen, and we lump it all into this one. And when this situation happens, all the negative pain that we have, and we have this burst of feeling bad. It's overwhelming because we did not work on cleaning the wreckage of our past. We have to understand the part we played in the mistakes that we make. What we did and what they did, and how we acted on what they did. To be honest with ourselves on our actions, to understand ourselves by looking at ourselves in the right way. Oh, we can sugarcoat it, we can put a spin on it, we can believe it, but it's not the truth. There's a saying, the truth will set you free. It will give you peace. Nobody can hurt you if it's the truth. I'm a movie buff. I'm a TV show. I like to figure out crime shows. I like to figure out people's how they think and what would be their next action. And I watch a lot of stuff. And the funny thing is that the people that are trying to control, they do dirt, and they go through such elaborate things to change so you don't see the dirt. They put the spin on it. They do everything they can, but the dirt seems to seep through the soil and come out. And then you got them in full blown denial and destruction because they're trying to do damage control and everything else. And it makes me think back to my addiction. I've done the same thing. I tried to cover my addiction, but it was seen. I thought I was covering it. I remember one time the police pulled me over and I was so high. I was super high. I was higher than I ever been. And they pulled me over. But my normal instinct kicked right in. I was acting, and I was the best actor because the story that I gave him, he accepted it and left. But on the inside, I was shaking like a leaf. Why? Because I was super high and I had plenty of dope with me. Recovery taught me I don't have to live like that no more. I had to find a new way of living because the getting high and the using, I know. The street game, I know. The stealing, I know. To make money beating up on people, I know. Hanging with the major players, I know. The parties, dope parties, I know. Going to jail, I know. Going to rehab, I know. Losing everything, I know. Losing loved ones, I know. But what I don't know, that it took me time to learn, is to live life in recovery. And not only in recovery, just to know Robert. See, when I found out that in life, when things happen to us, things happen around us, people that we love and we care, we take the focus off ourselves and we give the attention to others in their time of need. And we forget about ourselves. And we give all the attention to the things around us, but we don't give the attention to ourselves. We need self care. We need to give ourselves self care. We need to care about ourselves. We need to love ourselves because in our act of addiction, we didn't love ourselves. But in recovery, we learn how to love ourselves, to take care of ourselves, to make ourselves the most important person to ourselves. Because I learned that the more I take care of Robert, the better I can be to others. The more I understand who I am, the better I be to others. Recovery taught me some powerful lessons that I live by. One, I have no control over people, places, and things. Let me get a little personal. I have no control over my wife. She's her own person, just like I'm my own person. She chooses to love me. I choose to love her. And when you love someone, you allow them to be who they are, not for what you want them to be. Because if you go down that road, it's nothing but chaos, conflict, and pain. You could try it, but it won't end well. And since I know I have no control over people, places, or things, but I have control over myself, as long as I pay attention to myself. If I don't pay attention to myself, then my mind acts like a computer. If the situation looks like an event, it automatically acts that way. It's going to go that way. It's going to give me the information from the past that fits that criteria. And everything that's in my mind is from my childhood to my addiction to my recovery. So it's going to come up with that type of information. So I need to pay attention to myself to make sure that the information that comes up doesn't lead me back down the rabbit hole, doesn't lead me to make bad choices like I did in the past. So I have to pay attention to myself. And as I do, I become better. And when you become better, then you're able to help others. You'll be able to help others in the right way and not in the wrong way. Another thing I learned being 66, don't judge or you'll be judged by the same measure. And I found that to be true. And then I asked myself, how can I judge somebody because I'm an imperfect person and I always make mistakes? So I'm not in a position to judge someone else's for their mistakes because I make mistakes. That makes sense to me. But the flip side to that is if I just don't agree with your lifestyle, then I don't associate when you're in active in that lifestyle. It doesn't mean that I don't love and I don't care about you or you're my friend. But if you're acting in a lifestyle that I disagree with, then I don't want to associate with you while you're in that lifestyle. Why? Because I don't agree with your lifestyle. It has nothing to do with you. It has something to do with what you're doing. And that's keeping it simple. And lastly but not least, I want what I want and I want it now, but life doesn't work that way. In my old age, I'm telling you, I've life is teaching me patience. Because when I was young, if I go out there and get it. I mean, that's my motive. I mean, I'm gonna go get it. I need this and I want this and I'm gonna strive to get this. And I do that. But I'm old now. I can't move like I used to. So I have to find a new way of getting it done. And that makes me think and understand that sometimes we just need to sit back, do the work, do what we can, and leave it to a power greater than me to bring it into full bloom. To let time, my actions, and a power greater than me allow it to happen. and things work out. And the strange thing is that they work out, but they work out in a way that I never seen before. But it works out. So me doing the next right thing is a true blessing to my life. Me doing the next right thing is a blessing that reaps more blessings when I do it. I hope I shared some things with you to move you along in your recovery. There's so much recovery out. I'm on YouTube. I'm a subscriber to Ted's Talk. I mean, and I listen to a lot of stuff, and I listen to a lot of things that people share their recovery and their stories. And it all comes down to one thing. All the thousands of stories that I done heard, listened to, it's up to you. It doesn't matter what people do for you or how. When you make a decision to change your behavior, it gets done. And if you do not make a decision to change your behavior, then it won't get done. And it's that simple. I am learning in my old age is that as you get older, you must be more versatile. The things that you used to do, you can't do anymore. The way you go about doing things in your past becomes obsolete. You have to find new ways to get it done. With that in mind, I cannot be judgmental towards anyone else because everyone has to find their way to live their best life. And the only way you can live your best life and find your way is work on yourself to make yourself better. That's it, and that's all. That's recovery. It's your job to love and care for yourself. It's your job to do what you need to do so you can live your best life. Y'all have a great and wonderful day. And remember, we're getting it done one day at a time. We're moving forward one day at a time. Thank you for being part of my recovery. And like I said in my last few videos, that the background is the background for right now, but we're moving forward to make it better. This is a process. We made some major moves and major changes in our lives. So bear with us as we get it together. But we want to share our strength and hopes no matter where we're at, what we're doing, because it's all about recovery. It's not about background. You have a great and wonderful day.